And we come now to 23 hours 30 Universal Time. In the news at this hour, United States and Afghan military officials say many rebel fighters have been killed in a major operation in southern Afghanistan. A coalition statement said at least 65 people were killed in separate battles with American-led forces. The battles took place in Kandahar and Uruzgan provinces. In Kandahar on Friday, officials said 25 militants were killed. The statement also said some rebels hid behind Afghan citizens and escaped into nearby villages. In Uruzgan, officials say as many as 40 militants were killed as coalition forces answered a rebel attack. The United States Department of Defense says 14 Saudi Arabian citizens have been sent home from Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. It says a total of 310 people have been released from the prison at the United States Naval Base there. The Defense Department says about 120 others may be moved or released. A statement said their futures depend on discussions between the United States and other nations. About 450 prisoners still are held at Guantanamo Bay. They have been named enemy fighters instead of prisoners of war. The United States Supreme Court is expected to rule later this month on their legal situation. 3 men held at Guantanamo killed themselves on June 10th. Relatives of some of the 7 men accused of plotting a terrorist attack in the United States say the men are peaceful people. The relatives say the men perform religious studies and help their communities. The suspects were seized on Thursday in Miami, Florida. They are charged with plotting an attack on the Sears Tower building in Chicago, Illinois. The Sears Tower is the tallest building in the United States. A Chicago police official has said there was never an immediate terrorist threat to the Sears Tower. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and Prime Minister Ismail Haniyeh have met for talks on a statehood proposal that would recognize Israel. The meeting in Gaza City was the latest aimed at settling differences within the Palestinian government. Earlier, members of Mr. Abbas's office had said talks between the disputing Fatah and Hamas groups would be delayed. Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki is expected to present his National Unity Plan to Parliament on Sunday. Officials say the plan includes an offer of a pardon for some members of armed groups. It also contains steps for getting Iraqi forces to take over the duties of coalition troops. On Saturday, Sunni leaders condemned the holding of a top religious leader during a raid by American forces in the town of Tikrit. United States military officials later freed the man. The Iranian foreign minister says a plan to get Iran to suspend its uranium enrichment program has good possibilities. But Manouchehr Mottaki says other parts of the offer are not clear. The 5 permanent members of the United Nations Security Council and Germany proposed the plan. Mr. Mottaki commented on Saturday after talking in Berlin with Germany's top diplomat Frank-Walter Steinmeier. You are listening to the news in VOA Special English. Islamic courts that control the capital of Somalia have named a new leader. He is Sheikh Hassan Dahir Awes, who was appointed to the Islamic Courts Union on Saturday. The clergyman replaces Sheikh Sharif Sheikh Ahmed. The United States says Sheikh Awes has cooperated with the Al-Qaeda terrorist group. He is on an American list of terrorist suspects. But the Islamic courts have denied any links to terrorism. The Islamic courts say they are interested only in returning law and order to Somalia. The Sri Lankan government says it wants European Union truce officials to continue their operations in the island nation. Tamil Tiger rebels called for the truce officials to be replaced. They made the demand after the EU called the rebel group a terrorist organization. Earlier this week, the rebels said truce officials from Denmark, Finland, and Sweden must leave. Such a move would mean replacing 37 of the 57 truce officials in rebel-held areas. A government statement said the rebel demand was not reasonable. In Northern Ireland, Protestant Christians of the Orange Order marched through a mainly Roman Catholic area of West Belfast without incident. 100 nationalists and Catholic demonstrators lined the traditional parade path. Last year, a similar march caused rioting. And at the FIFA World Cup in Germany, Argentina has defeated Mexico 2-0 to take a place among the final 8 teams in the competition. Maxi Rodriguez made the winning goal in extra time to lead the Argentines to victory. Earlier on Saturday, Germany defeated Sweden 2-0 in Munich. Germany now plays Argentina on June 30th. And so, briefly now, here again is the major news of this hour. United States and Afghan officials say many rebel fighters have been killed in a major operation in southern Afghanistan. The United States Department of Defense says 14 Saudi citizens have been sent home from the American naval prison at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. And Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and Prime Minister Ismail Haniyeh have met for talks about a statehood proposal that would recognize Israel. So ends the news in VOA Special English.